to DC. I am sorry I didn't put any content out yesterday other than the Rockfin exclusive. So if you are fiending for a little bit of content, you can go over there. It's still free. Make your free Rockfin account. And I put up there an interview I did with SJG Perspective. So make sure to go check that out. Now, as you can see, everybody, I am on the way to DC. And I left yesterday, 14-hour drive from Iowa, stopped in Ohio outside of Cleveland, and we're on our way now. We're about 5.5, 6 hours away from getting there. Haven't even booked a hotel yet, but that's how I do it. I'll get there, and then I think I'm going to stay till Monday. I think that this is going to be one of those things where I'm going to be so beat from shooting on Saturday, because I can only imagine what's going to happen Saturday. But you're going to get, I don't know how much live coverage you're going to get. I'm going to try to get some live coverage in there here and now. But the bottom line is that's not why I'm going there. I'm going there because there's a new project on the horizon, possibly a documentary project about this whole selection. And I'm not saying it's going to happen. We all know that especially documentary projects are tough to get off the ground, are tough to get distribution. But I just thought that it was necessary to go here because you're going to have a lot of people who I would call whistleblowers, who I would call witnesses, who I would call people who put everything on the line to sign a sworn statement that something was wrong in their area via the election, whether that's they went to go vote and they said they'd already voted, whether that's broken water mains and suitcases being taken out, whether that's glitches in software, whatever you want to, or features in software. I would assume that at least a handful of those people that you saw giving affidavits and giving sworn testimony will be there to speak. So that my goal here is not just to shoot the rally. It is to interview people that have been marginalized, silenced, and now are being demonized as conspiracy theorists. And if there's anybody here who knows what it's like to be demonized as a conspiracy theorist, it's this guy. And that's why, I haven't been home, so I'm going to briefly talk about Tucker Carlson throwing loose change under the bus. Look, Tucker, what are you doing, man? It astounds me that Tucker can sit there and see how the media acts, see how the media lies, see how politicians act, see how politicians lie, and then 2 hours ago, or 2 days ago, not last night, but the night before, just like I've been telling you guys in all of these tech hearings, what is the main goal? They're always saying, well, you're censoring this, but you're not censoring this. You're censoring this, you should be censoring this. And, by Tucker saying that, you can't get this information, but, like all the Hunter Biden stuff was being banned, but you can watch Loose Change series, and it's ridiculous, really does him no service whatsoever. I tweeted at him, it's not going to do anything, but I tweeted at him the interview I did with John McDermott from Esquire, but really it was Hearst Publications. He was originally supposed to be for Wired, where I eviscerated him on the subject of 9/11. He only put one thing about 9/11 in his entire article about Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and it was wrong. It was provably wrong. And yet there are no fact checkers for James Meggs, for Popular Mechanics, for Hearst Publications. That should have been the feature, Tucker. That should have been the feature. And again,
there's a speed trap ahead.
Yes, I see that speed trap. I see that person pulled over right ahead. It's not only disheartening, it's just flat out dishonest. The guy's now had how long to look into 9/11, yet it doesn't seem like he's done so at all. And Tucker, I did a whole nother film outside of the Loose Change series called Fabled Enemies, where Joe Biden clearly admits that he was meeting with one of the financiers of 9/11, General Mahmoud Ahmed of the Pakistani ISI, okay, in the days after 9/11, and then the information regarding that funding is classified. And I get it. You're hot on the laptops and the Hunter Biden stuff and the Ukraine corruption and the China corruption. Great. If you're not going to bring it back to the source of our entire foreign and domestic policy before this COVID-19 84 nonsense broke out, then are you being intellectually honest, Tucker? And look, I get it, man. You're never going to give me even a 5-minute segment to defend myself. But what I would really love is, if you're going to take that position, Tuck, you find an expert that's willing to debate me on that position, and be it James Meggs or anybody else, and you be the moderator. And I think that you'll be fair. And I would love the opportunity to do that. We can do it virtually. That way I can bring my evidence up as we go. I can bring up the documentation. I can bring up the white papers. I can bring up the news articles. I can bring up the video evidence. Not that I wouldn't handle somebody on the spot, but, that's what makes that platform so powerful when you utilize it the right way. Look at my interview with Alex Jones. Anybody who's really criticized me about that had such a bias towards anything I was going to do with the guy that, they couldn't help themselves. Even, Rob Jacobson, and I love Rob, had something to say on my Facebook. And it's like, well, Rob, look, man, I understand that you and Alex no longer get along and that you're in litigation with him, but I've been nothing but honest about the positions I have compared to what InfoWars has. I criticized Jones when it was worthy, but when you watch that interview I did with Jones, and we line up not only him speaking, but the documents he's speaking about, and the quotes we're talking about, it's so much more powerful. It's so much more powerful, okay? And, I sent it to Luke Rudowski, who's going to be here. And even he was like, really good interview, man. You did a good job. And I'm like, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Because, again, it's about bringing people in. I'm not here to cause division. I'm not here to cause separation, Tucker. I'm not here to call for censorship of anything. Of anything. Free speech means all speech. You got better speech, you got better evidence, present it. We shouldn't be calling for or alluding to, why aren't you censoring this and why aren't you censoring that? I get it, you think that it's showing hypocrisy. But the hypocrisy is that guys like you, Tucker, won't look at the plethora of evidence that 9/11 is an international intelligence operation with role players in Pakistan, in Saudi Arabia, in Israel, and in the United States, hands down. Beyond that, but those are the main players. And that's the truth. So, like I said, guys, we are on the road. I need your support now more than ever. I'm not even sure if the GoFundMe link down below is the GoFundMe link for this month. It might even be last month, but imagine, this isn't going to be cheap. It hasn't been cheap already, even staying in one hotel room. So $5, $10, $15, big donors. You guys mean the world to me. I want to remind everybody that I didn't do a Rockfin video today just because I didn't have my gear out. I was only staying in that hotel until I hit the road again today, so I really didn't want to break everything out. But you got one yesterday, and it's still free, and it's 30 minutes long, and we haven't been missing them. So go check that out if you're fiending for some information and a long-form conversation. I'm supposed to interview Preti Upala, and I'm probably butchering her name, tonight about the spirituality of COVID-19 84 and society. I'm hoping to do that. I think that I'm going to get there in time where I'm going to be able to set up my my suitcase studio, get things done, and give you guys the kind of A-class A-plus class broadcast that we try to do here. So again, thumbs it up, subscribe, share, go make the free Rockfin account, check out yesterday's exclusive, and we'll see you in DC as long as I get there. We're about 5-6 hours out. Look for some big coverage tomorrow, but we're going to be doing stuff tonight as well. I love you, and I'll see you on the flip.